to another episode of Bikini Girl in a Bodybuilding World. It is one day post Thanksgiving and my body's feeling it. But I wanted to kind of focus on that a little bit today as far as food choices, inflammation, and other factors that can affect how you look, your stats, all that kind of stuff. So this past week was Shark Week. So if any of you don't want to learn about that stuff, now is your time to click out. If you do, stick with me because I'm going to talk a little bit about what I do that helps me to get through those time frames, because we as ladies have to go through that once a month, and it can be a little bit frustrating and nerve-wracking and things like that as well. So after my check-in last week, my weight started to go up and up and up over the weekend, and I was getting really frustrated. But at the same time, I also have an app on my phone that tracks my cycles and tracks when I'm supposed to get my period and things like that. So I knew that my period was due. I knew that it was supposed to be coming at some point this past weekend. So I kind of put that back in the back of my head. Now, the reason why I mention this is because I do the opposite of what a lot of people do. I track my weight every day. Now, I say this with a caveat because if weight is something that is triggering for you, then it's not a good idea to do this. I track my weight because I know that it is an indicator of other things that are going on. So I use it as a tool. I understand that it doesn't, if my weight goes up, that doesn't mean I'm doing something wrong necessarily. It just means that my body is going through something that I need to pay attention to. So, for example, this past weekend, my weight spiked up over 5 pounds, and that's not normal for me. I can fluctuate in the morning, 2-3 pounds or something like that. That's kind of normal, but to go up and over that 5 pound mark is big. And I knew that was likely because my period was going to start. And of course it did. It started on Monday. So as soon as my period hit, I was like, oh, there it is. That's why, right? So that's one of the reasons why I do weigh myself, because then I know, I have these indicators that, okay, I know my weight is going to go up, and if it's going up, there's a reason behind it. And for me, that was the reason. And this happens every single time that my cycle is about to start. So it does go up. Sometimes just a couple of pounds, sometimes 5, sometimes more. It just depends. This was a big bloat week for me this time around. So probably has to do with my sleep not being great and things like that too. So, that's the other thing too. Your body starts ramping up. For me, my heart rate or my body temperature gets higher at night when I get closer to my period. So it makes it harder for me to sleep. So those things come into play. Also going to the bathroom. I don't know about you ladies, but leading into my period, I have a really hard time going to the bathroom for about 3 or 4 days. And that was starting to happen too, starting on Thursday, Friday, I wasn't able to go. So all of those indicators, all of those symptoms are of a hormonal change coming, which is my cycle every month. And that happens every month. So again, for me, it helps me take a step back and say, okay, I know this is what my body is about to do. So don't freak out, right? You still freak out a little. We all do, right? We all do it. Plus the hormones are surging and things like that. So that doesn't help. But at the same time, at the back of my head, I understand what my body is doing. I understand what it's going through, and I understand why these things are occurring. So I don't freak out, and I don't overcompensate, and I don't start making big, huge changes and things like that, right? So once I got my period on Monday, things started to level out a little bit. I was able to go to the bathroom again. My weight started coming down again, those kinds of things. So I checked in on Thursday. And I'm almost back to normal as far as all of that is concerned. I'm still up a pound or 2 because of my period still being here, and because of food choices. It's Thanksgiving week. My parents are here. We went out to dinner, those kinds of things. So I've added sodium in my diet. So again, all of these things I track so that I understand why something is happening. If I understand the why behind the what, my brain doesn't go crazy. Right? Now, if you can't handle all of these different statistics and things like that in your brain, that's fine. Don't do what I do. But for me, it helps to actually calm my brain down so I know what's going on. So anyway, So I checked in on Thursday. I did get my blackout curtains, so my pictures are 1,000 times better. I will go ahead and put them up on the screen, but they're here in my app too, so I'll put them up really quickly for you. So yeah, I mean, you probably can even see this on the camera. Like in comparison to last week, my photo quality is 1,000 times better because my lighting was consistent, and now it will be consistent from here on out. I'll be able to actually track everything correctly. That has been a big stressor for me the last few weeks specifically because of the light, like I talked about the last episode. So Jamie was really happy with my check-in. Really happy with the glute progress that we're seeing. You know, as I've said before, this is the big thing for me. Like my rest of my body, I've got enough muscle. It's my glutes, my glutes, my glutes, my glutes, so that, you know, when I do diet again, they stick around. They're more solid, you know, and I do see that in my posing videos, things like that. They are a whole lot more solid than they were. I still don't think they're quite there, but they're getting there. They're getting there, little by little, inch by inch, slowly but surely. We're getting to where we want to be. So she was really happy to see that progress. Thanksgiving was yesterday, so I didn't track so much yesterday. I just kind of freely ate. I did go back through today and kind of guesstimate what I ate. And I came in right around where I should have. I was a little bit over, but not far because I don't really overeat. It was just, again, the added, you know, added additives in the food, the sodium and things like that, dairy, stuff that I don't normally eat. So I am a little bit puffy today, a little bit inflamed. But that's kind of normal. And I didn't go and like punish myself for doing that either. I think that's a big negative cycle that a lot of women can get into if you overeat or if you overindulge, then the next day you feel like you have to do extra cardio or whatever. I didn't do any of that. I just stuck to my plan. Giving myself some extra TLC today. Gonna drink some more water. Try to flush out as much of the inflammation as I can through just doing those kinds of things. One thing that really helps me with inflammation is Epsom salt baths. I don't know about you guys, but I do those on a regular basis. I do them every week, at least once a week, if not twice. It helps with soreness in the muscle and helps to flush out inflammation and just overall makes me feel better, keeps me healthy. The key with the Epsom salt bath that a lot of people miss is that you're supposed to soak in it for at least 40 minutes. So if you get into the Epsom salt bath and you only stay in there for like 20 minutes or so, you're gonna get an effect, but you're not gonna get the full effect of the Epsom salt's actually absorbing into your body. So I do stay in there for about 45 minutes or so in order to get that full effect. So just a little tip if you do those. And I'm just back to normal. So worked back and biceps today. Tomorrow I'll go back and do glutes. My parents are still here until tomorrow. So one more night of kind of splurge foods planned tonight. And when I say that again, I'm not eating way over in caloric intake. Actually, the only time I did eat over my caloric intake was yesterday for Thanksgiving, and I won't tonight either. But when I say splurge meals, I say things with the added sodium. You know, wine also. I like to have wine, you know, for dinner, Thanksgiving type stuff, but I don't like to drink it on a regular basis because I don't sleep well with it either. So that's another thing too. We'll go into that in a second. But you know, it's nice to have for social occasions, and it's, for me, I think it's fine to have in the off season. Once you get into prep, it's a little bit more tricky because it takes away from carbs and things that you really need that are solid nutrients. You don't get any nutrients from alcohol. Just is what it is. So, you know, I'll drink something again tonight. I'll have another glass of wine tonight with my parents, and then we'll be done. So, so that's the thing when it comes to alcohol, guys. A lot of people think it helps you sleep. It'll help you pass out, but it's not going to help you sleep. It actually hinders your recovery process while you're sleeping. So it's a misnomer kind of thing. It's one of those things where it will help you pass out, but you won't get restful sleep. And likely you're going to wake up in the middle of the night, that kind of thing too. Your body temperature rises when you drink. So again, it's harmful to your actual quality of sleep. So just things that you should be aware of if you choose to drink. Obviously I do drink, but I just do it in moderation, and I don't do it all the time, and I don't do it every week. And if I do, I have like 1 or 2 glasses of wine or vodka or something like that, and I'm done. I can't hold my liquor anymore anyway, so one or two glasses and I'm good. I'm done. I don't need it anyway. So for this week, after my check-ins, we're just kind of keeping everything stable because we knew that we were going to have the holiday, and Jamie allows me to have that freedom and stuff like that for the holiday because I'm not in prep or anything like that either. So probably by this time next week, I'll be more leveled out, and we'll see if I've got some decent progress over the last couple of weeks, because again, you got to factor in the holiday, and you also got to factor in my period, my cycle. So I'm hoping that by this time next week, I'll be pretty even keel, and maybe even see a little bit of progress in the right direction. And then we should probably see some progress in the right direction again next week. So keeping things as consistent as possible is always going to be conducive to being able to see more progress, right? So at the same time, I also think it's important to have life balance. I haven't seen my parents in 3 years because of COVID. Like, we've done everything through Zoom calls and stuff like that when it comes to holidays, things like that. My parents haven't actually been down here to Northern Virginia in like 6 years. So I wanted to be able to enjoy my time here, and I'm not going to be that person that's like, oh, I can't have that. Oh, I can't drink. Oh, I can't do this. I'm just not going to be that person this week. I'm going to enjoy my time here, and I'm not going to feel guilty about it either. Right? So I just, again, when I go back to look at everything that I do, I track everything really, really closely, because then I understand why my body is doing what it's doing because of the stimulus that I gave it. So for me, the more data that I can consume and write down and track, the better. If that doesn't work for you, that's fine, but for me, it works. The ultimate goal is always to be better the next tomorrow than I was today, that kind of thing. So when you do that, you have to be able to track everything, in my opinion, I think. And it just, again, helps me with my mental state to know why I have created a result that I have. So anyway, it's been a fun week. So to close out the rest of this video, I'm just going to put in some fun clips and things like that from me doing family things. So you can see a little bit of the life outside of bodybuilding. Not a whole lot going on with the business side of things this week because of the holiday, but we do have ladies getting ready for nationals and for the amateur Olympia and also for the Olympia. So we'll have a lot to be updating on that as we go forward in the next few weeks, and doing, Olympia previews and things like that too. So hope you enjoyed this little update. And like I said, I'm going to try and do these vlogs once a week so that you get an idea of where I am and what we're doing, where we're going, and hopefully educate a little bit on all of that as well as we're doing it. So enjoy some of the fun family footage that we took over the last couple of days. Just kidding. All right. So after I shot that last piece, I did think I was going to put up some Thanksgiving stuff and things like that, but Saturday morning I woke up to a super huge surprise, which I got my very first magazine cover. I had no clue that this was happening. I knew I was going to be published in this magazine, but I had no idea that I was even being considered for the cover, and it was the first thing that I saw when I got up in the morning on Saturday morning. So it was a pretty amazing surprise, and I'm pretty stoked about it, and I'm still really super excited about it even while I'm talking about it now. And the reason why is because, for those of you that don't know, I've been in the entertainment industry through modeling, acting, things like that ever since I was 19 years old. So I've been in a ton of magazines, tear sheets, commercials, movies, all this kind of thing, but I've never gotten a cover before. This is my very first cover. So it was an amazing surprise, basically. And I just wanted to end out this episode with kind of telling you all to be like that, meaning, like, don't give up on your dreams. If there is something out there that you want, if there's something that you want to go after, you can make it happen. There is nothing impossible in this world. And I could go into a whole long diatribe about all the things that I have been able to do in my life that I never thought could have been possible, but they are possible if you just keep trying. I mean, literally the only thing that is going to stop you from achieving your goals is you. That's it. I can sit here and tell you how I came up from nothing and all this kind of thing and all whatever, but you've heard all those stories before. What I want to impart to you today is that I walk my walk. You know, I tell you guys that you are able to achieve all of these things because I've been able to do it. And it's just by waking up every day and going after it. Going after whatever it is that you are truly passionate about in your life, because you can make it happen. And I know this is going to sound like a big, like, inspirational, motivational thing, but it is. That's what it's here for. I really want to, if I could leave one thing, is I want to impart upon you that there is nothing that is outside of your reach. If you want it, you can get it. Not saying it's going to happen today, not saying it's going to happen tomorrow, but if you don't stop trying, eventually you are going to reach your goal. It's going to happen. Either that or you're going to die. It's one of the two. So, you know, you might as well make the most of the time that you have here on this earth and go after your dreams and your goals, because what else is there? That is what life is. Life is going after your goals. So I was just really happy, really excited, still am really excited. And I thank you guys too for all of your support, because I know that, you know, what keeps me motivated a lot of times, what keeps me pushing, is knowing that a lot of you all are watching and paying attention to what I'm doing. And then I know that that's going to bleed over into you. And I hope that that bleeds over into you so that you know you can go after your dreams, and then other people see that in you as well, and that bleeds into them. It's like that what is it, the butterfly effect? I don't know if that's the butterfly effect, but you guys know what I'm talking about, what that is. But when you pay it forward, that's what it is. When you pay it forward, then they're going to pay it forward as well. So that's always my goal, because there is enough fire in this world for us all to catch on blazing fire, right? So one of us alone is a little tiny candle. All of us together is a raging fire. So let's just keep lighting those candles and burning forward. And if this didn't light a fire under my own ass, I don't know what else would. So it was a really special thing for me. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing that. And I hope that it also helps you to pick up your own feet and move towards your goal. So yeah, that's how we're going to end out today's vlog instead. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and I will see you back here again for our next episode.